friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Terry, also known as the Inspire Planner, and today we are going to look at the hidden words technique journaling style using a mixed media of ink, pens, and papers. So I thought today I would do another video on hidden words, only this time we're going to mix it up a little bit and do some more of a mixed media kind of feel so that we can use some ink, some paper, some pens, all the good stuff. Now, if you haven't caught my other video, hidden words is a concept that, or a technique that you can use in your journaling where essentially you write down something that you are using as kind of like a brain dump or a challenge that you have or something like that, but you want to write it down, get it on paper, but not necessarily look at it again. So it's kind of like a bless and release kind of thing. So I wrote down just a quick little blurb here, nothing major, nothing heavy, but I'm going to go ahead and use that technique to cover it up. So when we're done, you'll see that you can see the fun mixed media creative side of things, but you won't see this little blurb here. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, I haven't done inks in a really long time, and I used to do them all the time when I was doing hidden words. So I decided that I wanted to do this again. And I'm actually just going to use this envelope as my buffer here because I get a little messy sometimes when I use ink, but that's okay. So I'm just going to take my little dauber and put some ink on here, at least I think I am. And I'm just going to cover it up. Now, this is a lighter ink, and it is not meant to cover the words so that you can't see them, but it's meant, sorry about the shaking, but it's meant to just kind of give it a nice little background that you can then build on top of and start to layer. I love using inks. I think that they're just fun. They just give your pages a little bit extra. So that's all I'm going to do with this lighter one. Let me go ahead and cover that up. And then I'm going to use, that one was tumbled glass. The next one is chipped sapphire. One's distressed ink, one is distressed oxide. I kind of use them interchangeably. And I'm just going to go ahead and put some of that darker color on here. Now, this type of journal is just a regular page journal, so it's not necessarily meant to do all of the blending. So if you use, depending on what type of daubers you use, you may find that it just kind of comes out with the circle look. And I'm okay with that because, again, this is just a creative journal for me. It's a space where I can play. It's a space where I can try different techniques and do different things. And that's part of the fun for me about doing this. And I'm just going to go over some of this lighter area. And there we go. So that's all we're going to do with the ink. I'm just going to try and even that out a little bit. So let me go ahead and close this up. I'm going to set that up there so it's not rolling in my way, hopefully. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move that out of the way. So now I have a nice background of ink here. While that's drying for just a minute, I'm going to go ahead and prepare what I want to do. I have a little ink on my fingers. What I want to do with my papers to cover this up. And so I brought a couple of different things because I do like to try different things this way as well. And I did also bring my paper cutter. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to cut a piece of this out. Now I could rip it, but because this is already a little bit used, I was trying to think how I want to say that, a little bit used, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And just because it's a bag and I'm literally using like just different random things that I have, I like the texture of this bag. I like the look of it. It's very lightweight. So I'll probably put that like somewhere like here. And yeah, that'll cover up my words. So now you won't be able to see the words at all anymore. But I do want to also use, I have some stamps. I forgot they were sitting over there. I want to use those too. But I do want to use like this corner potentially of the paper. So this I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do a little bit of ripping, a little bit of tearing, just like that. And then I have some vellum here. I have a just random piece of pink paper, And then I have some vellum that I thought might be kind of cool also. So we're going to go ahead and put these down here first. Just make sure I am getting them in a way that kind of works for what I want to do. I think I'm going to cut just a tiny bit of this off. I'm going to do that off to the side here. And I only did that just to give myself a little more space, but I'm going to save that little piece of paper. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to, that way this paper could stick out a little more, or I could cover it up just a little bit. Maybe we'll cut this one down just a little bit too. And then that way, excuse me. Still allergy season, guys. Still allergy season. But that's okay. We are plugging through allergy season as best that we can. All right, so I'm going to put some glue on here, adhesive on here. And I am going to put this like this, straight down here. I like that. That looks pretty cool. I'm going to get a little bit of adhesive going down this way. There we go. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to do one more little rip here. And this one I'm just going to pair with this right here. All right, so that is the basis. Now I am going to put a tiny little piece, well, not so tiny maybe, because I want to use these stamps, but I want to stamp over top of the vellum, over top of this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of this out. Now, when I put this down, there's probably a good chance that you are going to be able to see my adhesive through this, but that's okay. Now, I could leave it just like this and put some stamps here, and that would be just as pretty. But since we are doing more of a mixed media type thing, and I have this vellum, I just thought it would be fun to use this as well. So let's go ahead and do that. And if I'm lucky, which it looks like I might be, you might not be able to see the adhesive too badly. You can see a little bit of it, but that's okay. I'm really 100% okay with that. All right, now I am going to use the dark Distressed Oxide, the chipped sapphire. And the first thing I'm going to do is a paw print. Maybe. Doesn't look like it wants to ink up for me, but it's going to be more of like a messy type of a paw print, so I'm okay with that. It's not going to be the whole paw print. Oh, maybe it will. Look at that. That turned out really cool. All right, and then I have this stamp that says, to make today so good yesterday gets jealous. I can't remember where I got these stamps, probably like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, I'm sure. But this is just a fun way to do some layering and hide those words, do the hidden word concept in your journaling, and make it a little creative as well. So I hope that this inspires you to get out some of the tools that you have, some of those stamps, some of your ink pads, some of your colors, and just kind of get creative. Write something down that's been on your mind that you want to let go of, cover it up, hide it, use this hidden words technique, and have a great time with it. The last thing I'm going to do though really quickly before I pop off of here is I've been using the stencil from TULA 12 and putting my date down here or at the top or someplace else, and I've been using this little quote bubble one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm using Tombow markers. I'm just going to go ahead and outline first. And then I'm going to pop the other end off and use the brush end and just color it in. So I didn't let go of the stencil. However, if you need to, you can just line it back up again. It's not a big deal. But I just find it's easier to color it in when I leave it down there. Then I'm going to take the darker color, which is like a periwinkle color, And I'm gonna line this back up, and then I'm gonna outline it one more time so that it has a little bit of contrast with it, just like that. So you can see it's got a little bit of contrast there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put today's date. And now my page is all ready for some journaling later. There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know. And I would love to know if you're going to try this technique. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.